Hello everybody and welcome to my tutorial. Today we're going to be learning about how to bulk edit and export photos with Adobe Lightroom CC. Now it's very important to realize that this is with Adobe Lightroom CC 2018 edition. So this is not the standalone Lightroom that Adobe makes. This is the actual Adobe Lightroom that's part of the Creative Cloud that you actually download. There's two different types of Lightrooms. There's Adobe Lightroom, the separate, and then there's Adobe Lightroom, the CC. And the CC is the Creative Cloud one, and that, whoops, I gotta move that over there. And that is basically the more limited version. The Creative Cloud one's kind of more limited, but it's still really powerful, and it can do some things that the other one can't. They're basically just two different pieces of software. But basically, what our goal is here is these are a whole bunch of pictures that I've taken of this gravel here on the ground. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to 3D scan it. And to do that, I need a lot of photos. Now, I have to do some bulk editing to this. First off, some of these photos need rotated because they can't be sideways. They all have to be the same direction. And I want to do a bulk color correction and some kind of some basic edits on this just to make it a little bit better for scanning. I also need to crop my feet out of it because that'll actually ruin the scan when I took these photos. Good thing to know for the future if anybody's 3D scanning. Make sure your feet's not getting into the shot because that can literally ruin it. So to begin, let's go ahead and open up Lightroom CC. You can open this however you'd like. For me, I'm just going to search Lightroom, and there it is. We're going to go ahead and open it up, Lightroom CC, and it'll take a moment to boot up. But once we do, here's a list of photos that I've taken and different things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate over here, and then what I need to do is actually check out my photo album, which this is it. This trash can is so weird. So I'm going to go ahead and select gravel. This is a folder that I've an album that I've created for all these photos. I highly recommend when you're bulk importing photos into Lightroom, you put them in an album. To do this, you right click, create album, name that album. So I just named my photo album gravel 1. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to literally take this directory where I have all these photos stored on my computer and copy it. And then we're just going to click Add Photos. And I'm going to paste in that directory. And lo and behold, we're already here. So I'm going to go ahead and select the top left one, the most top one on the far left. And I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom, hold down left shift on my keyboard, and select this one here. And then just basically click Review for Import. This will give me all the photos that I can basically now review, decide if there's any of them that I don't want, and yeah, I think I want them all. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, add all 147 photos. So we had quite a bit of photos now, and they've all just been imported in. So now comes the import process. They're all being imported in, and they're all having some basic color correction done to them by the looks of it, which it looks like it's doing some automatic thing, which is interesting. Don't worry, we can change this. So to begin, let's go ahead and start by selecting the top left photo up here, our very first one, and let's just do some basic edits to this photo. So now I don't want a bunch of detail in this. I just want to raise up the black so we can see some detail into the shadows, and I'm going to pull the highlights back a little bit. We're not going to go crazy on this, say -20. Or sorry, I didn't want to raise the blacks. I wanted to kind of pull the blacks down, but raise the shadows up a little bit, and also raise some of the blacks. Just basically get a little bit more detail out of the image. Not as much contrast, but just be able to see in those dark areas. So that's looking good. Our focus is good. Let's go ahead and take our contrast up that just a tiny bit for me particularly. Now this is my own personal edit settings. Feel free to add whatever you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and take our clarity just up that like 30 or 40%. Let's go ahead and up that about 40%. And then we can take everything else, maybe a little bit of sharpening, just a wee bit, maybe up that to say 50. And 50 ought to do it for us. I really don't think we need any more than that. That's about right. So say this is the edit we want. I don't mind the color being that punchy. We can, of course, take our colors. You can change them. You can pull the color out, flatten it. There's all kinds of color profiles and stuff up here. I don't think they count though. But basically, say we like this color correction we just did on this, right? Let's go ahead and preview our original. There's the original. There's the new one. Love the new one. So how do we keep this? Let's go ahead and click back here. What we're going to do is select the photo, do Control+C, and then we have the copy edit settings. Go over here, paste. Edit's been applied, paste. Now we don't have to manually go through all these and do that. All we have to do is literally select the next one, scroll all the way to the bottom, hold down left shift, select him, Control V, paste. It says, do you want to continue? 144 photos will be affected. Yes, I do. And it's going to go through and bulk apply all these effects to every single photo throughout the list. So now that we have all of these photos basically color corrected up, now we need to export them out. And to do this, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to quick finish the rotation of the rest of these photos. I'm going to do an edit cut, and then we'll come back and we'll export them out. Also, a big little tip is if you want to be able to deselect the photos, hold down left control, select one of the photo, that'll deselect him, and then you can select him, and then it'll stop the selection for all the other photos. Big tip there. But anyway, back to the edit. We'll go ahead and skip this part. Alrighty, I've gone ahead and gone through and cropped all the photos. Had to do that manually because you cannot do the bulk edit with the crop. It's only with the edit function, I'm afraid, not with actually the crop tool, healing brush, the regular brush, gradients, and such. So it's only with the edit, but that said, mostly the time that's all you usually need, hopefully. And I've gone ahead and straightened all the photos as well. So now let's go ahead and talk about the bulk export. How do we do that? Well, that's actually pretty simple. All I have to do is select all the photos that I'd like to export out. So I'll select this one in the top left, scroll all the way down, hold down left shift, select all these. I can right click and do save to. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose my save to location. I'm going to select in here, and for me, I'm going to paste in this directory. Or oops, I'm going to have to manually search one. I'm just going to go ahead and do daily renders. We'll go back and we'll do 3D scanning, and we're under Gravel 1. So for me, I'm going to name this folder edited. There we go, edited. Need a D at the end of that, but oh well, we'll just ignore it. So now we have the folder selected. We'll do select, and now this is important. You have full size, small, or custom. I'd recommend full size, and you also have the file type. You could do original plus settings. This will literally re-export out the original raw file, or you could do a JPEG. For me, the program I use to actually do my 3D scanning only accepts JPEGs, PNGs, and other files. It doesn't accept the raw file, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to stick with the JPEG. So then literally all you do is you click save, and it will start bulk exporting these photos out. So if we go ahead, go back to Gravel, and go back to edited, and with spelled incorrectly, needs a D at the end, but oh well. We can go in and we can see it's slowly churning out as it's saving all the photos, and they're all being exported out. So basically this is the process. This is the process of importing the photos, editing photos, bulk applying that edit to multiple photos, and then exporting them all out using nothing but Adobe Lightroom CC. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I can't wait to see you all in the next tutorial.